Hi there, welcome back. In the last video, we talked about the power of vision. Now, this is video 2 in a series, and now we're going from the transition from high-level vision, I have a dream, up to strategy. Now, in the last video, I shared my objectives. You're going to make your own. This is the beautiful thing about AI. You want to refine it until it really resonates with you. A good vision is something that people will put their livelihoods, their lives on the line to help you win. A bad vision, you get meh. So today we're going to talk about transitioning from vision to strategy. And by the way, I think most entrepreneurs live somewhere in between these two. They go back and forth. I've been told that we annoy integrators because we have this big vision. Every day we come up with something new. Now we're creating a filter because if something doesn't fit our vision, we don't act on it. So today, sorry, last video you met Olivia. She's the queen of objectives. Today we're going to talk to Samantha, who is all about strategy. Now, for those of you who are keeping score, we're not at action yet. We're still in planning. So Samantha is our second in command when it comes to planning. So I'm going to introduce you to Samantha. By the way, she still needs a little work, but we're getting there. Okay, so Samantha's goal, her purpose, is to take the high level input we had from Olivia. So this is the input from the last video. These are my 3 primary objectives. And I'm going to put this into Samantha. And I'm going to ask Samantha for help. So here's the secret. Most people will just copy paste and then hit enter, and they'll wonder why Samantha gives them a generic answer. So this is where I'm not spoon feeding you. You are customizing, because I can give you general strategy. You want something that works specifically for you. So what you want to do is tell Samantha a little bit about you, who you are, what you do. As I think about it, there's probably another model we can build where we can extract that information. But basically, we want to give Samantha just enough understanding so that she can create a strategy or set of strategies just for us. So I am always polite. And by the way, this is the kind of thing you could copy and paste in, but I want you to see me doing this real time because this is what I'm doing. And this is the results I'll be reporting on. So for the record, I'm sick and tired of those fly-by-night coaches, the experts, the consultants, the gurus who say, oh, this is the only way to do it. I'm not that guy. I'm going to say, this is what I've done in the past, and this is how I'm applying it now. So for the record, I've launched multiple businesses. Some have been great successes. Some have been abysmal failures. I've crawled out of the wreckage to carry on. I'm not saying that to scare you or to brag, but the reality is I've learned a lot about what works, and I can tell you what doesn't work equally well. So I'm not here with a one-size-fits-all, but what I am here to say is if you don't have a good strategy, if you don't have clear objectives, you're almost guaranteed to fail, because how do you know what success looks like? If you can't define success, you don't know if you're going the right direction. So I will say the first 3 videos, whether you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, you might want to go through these first 3, meeting Olivia, Samantha, and then Andrew, so that you can learn how to optimize what you have. All of the other videos are specific applications of specific things. I'll give you a little decision tree so you know how to find the next one and so on. So this is second from the top in my world. And here we're building out a plan. Okay. So you can see I'm putting this in. I like to leave a little space. Okay. So this is where we customize. I personally believe in the power of entertainment and education, period. Okay. Okay. Now, for the record, this is equivalent to sacrilege. I hate managing salespeople. I hate managing marketing people. So most people figure, who, not how, let's delegate it, let's give it to somebody else. My mission from day one is to build a business that doesn't require a team. So this might sound a little weird. I'm going to share my big picture. I did a lot of research and I determined that there is a big debate in certain circles about whether or not somebody can build a billion-dollar solopreneur company. Now, for the record, I am not saying I'm going to build one. What I'm saying is if I'm going to build a company, why wouldn't I consider it? So this is what inspired me. And basically, I'm not here to say you don't need help. I'm just here to say my question is, how far can I go without another human? So when I come at it from that point of view, that changes how I do things. So for example, if I'm selling high ticket coaching, or I'm selling an expensive product, I need to worry about what does my funnel look like? What does my marketing look like? What does my sales process look like? What's my client onboarding? It gets complicated fast. And I think that's what kills most startups is early complexity that crushes ultimate growth. It takes a lot of startup capital to fund, building teams, training. You got to have, a runway for when people are just onboarding and getting productive. My goal is really simple. How big a business can I build that can run with just me? So as you saw that, I'm very comfortable creating content. I love creating workshops of all kinds, master classes, courses, mini courses, books, workbooks, etc. So what I want to build is a truly, let's call this an online digital school for entrepreneurs who are implementing artificial intelligence in their business. And the reason I know this is a good idea is most of my friends, colleagues, they struggle with getting things done because they know a whole bunch about a few things. I want them to be really good at what they do. And if it makes sense for them, somewhere down the road, there is a decision where they're going to say, I need to grow my team. Here's how. But for me personally, I'm on a narrow path with clear objectives. I want to see how much revenue I can build in my business by myself. Now, to be clear, my plan to do that is I want to create world-class experiences. I want to wow people. You're seeing this as a beta version. I promise each iteration we're going to get better and better. They will be polished. But for right now, we're starting as a bootstrapped startup. And my goal is to grow this as quickly as possible, adding as much value as possible to the world with as little cost as possible. Now, I have an option here. I'll just pause. I could take all of this content and put it onto my fancy learning management system, which I believe I will do at some point. Or I can I can put it onto my Google platform where I have access to Google Drive, Google Docs, Google Sheets, and of course, Google Classroom. So I'm going to show you these things as if I was a bootstrapping startup without any past experience. I'm just going to help you fast track so you can get there. But for what it's worth, as a strategy, I have not met a better one than combining education and entertainment to help your audiences understand who you are and what you do. Now, as you'll see, Samantha has come through, and strategy number one is build automated content and funnel system. So automated webinar, email, lead magnet, automated onboarding journey. I agree 100%. Now, what I love is that Samantha makes it clear this meets my primary and secondary objective. And what I want you to understand is the power of consistency throughout. So we are meeting our primary objectives. So we know that the tactics we implement will, in fact, meet our primary objectives. So this is strategy number one, build an automated content and funnel system. I agree with it. Now, I've been spending some time with this, so this knows what I meant to say. Keep asking questions, give it feedback until you are happy. You are the grown-up, you're the adult, you are the authentic intelligence. You can look at this and say, no, that won't work for me. For example, if your audience is 15-year-old high school students who are studying to get into college, you're going to figure out where they are and what strategies reach them, versus if your audience is 93-year-olds who are going back to college, they're going to be in a different place with a different message. So we'll get to the audience piece, but you need to get a gut sense and say, yeah, this makes sense to me. So what I will tell you based on looking at this is this is already better than what most people I know have. And here's the reason. A lot of people hire VAs, they hire assistants and say, go do this for me, without ever giving them the strategy. So we've got one strategy, which is to build an automated content and funnel system. Now, the second strategy, this is one of my absolute favorites, is to build a community-led growth model. So incentivized referrals, community events, user-generated content. And then number 3 is build a community, a collaborative community to showcase experts. Now, for what it's worth, I love all 3 of these. Now, it's rare. You're not going to always get all 3 right out of the gate. But these are 3 strategies I've used before and 3 strategies I recommend. So basically, we've got our vision clear. You can see each one of these strategies reaches one of our objectives. The next step is Samantha. We hand this over to Andrew, and he starts to create the action plan. So the next video is literally the point where our wonderful visionaries meet our amazing integrators, and we start to take action. So thank you for indulging me, but the reality is the shortest path to success is strategy without tactics, but tactics without strategy is the noise before defeat. That's a quote from Sun Tzu, The Art of War. And I really believe if we're not clear on what our long-term vision is and the strategies, we should not be talking about tactics. Really, truly, if you are overworked, you're burning out, you're not getting the results you want, it is almost always because you're pedaling in one direction, not knowing if it's the right direction. Then you course correct, you pedal back in another direction, course correct. The longest path to success is not knowing what your target is. So I hope this gives you an unfair advantage. We'll see you in the next video.